September 14, 1944, 9:17 a.m. Dearborn, Michigan, Ford Rouge Plant. The smell hits first. Hot oil, ozone, burned metal, a thick industrial heat that clings to the back of the throat. The German officers stop just inside the massive doors, their boots echoing on concrete polished smooth by years of movement. Above them, steel girders vanish into shadow. To their left, a conveyor line hums like a living thing. To their right, sparks explode in blinding flashes as welders stitch armor plate together with mechanical precision. None of them speak. General Meyer Fritz Bayerlein, former commander of Panzer Lehr Division, folds his hands behind his back. His posture is rigid, professional, but his eyes move constantly, left, right, up, trying to take it all in at once. He has seen factories before. He has toured Krupp Works, Daimler-Benz, MAN. He knows what industrial power looks like, or at least he thought he did. A U.S. Army officer clears his throat. "Gentlemen, welcome to the Ford Rouge complex." The words barely register, because directly ahead of them, an M4 Sherman tank, unfinished, naked steel, slides forward on a moving line. Men swarm it, each performing a single task. One tightens bolts, another fits a transmission housing, a third checks tolerances with a practiced glance. No shouting, no rushing, no chaos, just motion, relentless, orderly motion. Bayerlein watches the tank move away from its station, and then another one takes its place. Behind him, Oberst Hans von Luck exhales slowly through his nose. He leans slightly toward Bayerlein, his voice low, controlled. "This is only one line?" The American officer smiles, polite but unreadable. "One of several." The Germans exchange a look. Months earlier, back in Normandy, they had joked about American industry, crude, wasteful, dependent on quantity over quality. They told themselves that American tanks were stamped out like tin toys, rushed to the front with little care. That belief had mattered. It had helped them sleep. Now, standing inside the Rouge, that belief begins to crack. The plant stretches for miles. Literally miles. Iron ore arrives at one end by ship, coal by rail, rubber by truck. Everything flows inward, disappears into the complex, and emerges at the other end as finished machines of war. An American guide gestures toward a massive overhead chart. Numbers, timetables, output goals. "Current production rate," he says casually, "is one complete Sherman every 30 minutes. The words hang in the air. Every 30 minutes. Bayerlein doesn't respond. He simply looks at his wristwatch, a habit formed on battlefields where minutes meant lives. 9:23 a.m. He watches as one tank rolls forward, its hull complete. Fresh olive drab paint still gleams under the lights. The smell of it is sharp, chemical, new. Workers don't salute it. They don't admire it. They move on to the next. Von Luck frowns. 30 minutes, he repeats quietly, as if testing the phrase. That is 2 per hour. He does the math automatically. They all do. 48 per day. Hundreds per week. Thousands per month. In Normandy, Panzer Lehr had lost nearly its entire armored strength in weeks, not because of inferior crews, but because replacements never came fast enough. Factories bombed, rail lines destroyed, skilled workers dead or conscripted. Here? Here, the line never stops. The group moves deeper into the complex. The noise grows louder. Presses slam steel plates into shape with earth-shaking force. Overhead cranes glide silently, carrying turrets like offerings to some industrial god. Bayerlein notices something else now. The workers. Many are young. Some are old, some are women, African Americans, men missing fingers, men with glasses, men who would never pass a physical for frontline service. Yet each knows his task perfectly. This is not a nation scraping the bottom of its manpower pool. This is a nation that has turned war into a system. They pass a station where engines are tested. One roars to life, then another, then another. Each is checked, calibrated, logged. Faulty units are pulled aside instantly, replaced without slowing the line. No arguments, no delays. Berlin feels something unfamiliar tighten in his chest. Dread. Not fear of bombs, not fear of death, but fear of scale. Back home, German factories worked heroically under constant attack. Skilled machinists slept beside their machines. Production quotas were miracles achieved through exhaustion. Here, production is routine. The American officer gestures toward a wide observation platform. From here, you can see final assembly. The Germans step up to the railing. Below them, a completed Sherman rolls off the line under its own power. A driver steers it toward a wide door at the far end of the hall. As it exits, another takes its place. Berlin glances at his watch again. 9:53 a.m. 30 minutes. Exactly. No speeches are made. No propaganda banners hang from the walls. No one tells them what this means. They don't need to be told. Von Luck grips the railing a little tighter than necessary. At this rate, he murmurs, they can replace losses before we finish reporting them. Bayerlein says nothing, because for the first time since his capture, a terrible clarity is forming in his mind. This war is not being decided only at the front. It is being decided here, and Germany is not losing because its soldiers lack courage. It is losing because it is fighting a machine it cannot exhaust. As the next Sherman rolls forward, Bayerlein realizes something else, something colder, heavier. This factory has not been damaged, not slowed, not strained, and this is only one plant. He turns away from the railing, his face unreadable. The American officer watches him closely. What Bayerlein is beginning to understand, what he will not say out loud, is that no tactical brilliance, no last-ditch counteroffensive, no wonder weapon can change what he is seeing. Because you cannot outfight an enemy who builds faster than you can destroy. And somewhere, far across the Atlantic, German crews are climbing into burning wrecks, unaware that their replacements are already rolling off a line that never sleeps.